What's going on, guys? Luigi, you're always first, man. You are the definition of the notification squad, my man. Um, let me the sub the subs box isn't quite right, but we'll have to make it work for now. What's going on, everybody? Hello, hello, Alicia, SKDK, David Lee, John. Was that Mysterion? Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Let's talk Pokemon Duel. What do you guys say? What's going on, Iceman? The ice banner lasted like all of 2 weeks, if it even was a like the ice meta. Giggity Gaming, what is up, sir? What is up? So I guess we can just kind of jump in, and everybody else can catch up to speed as we do this. But actually, we're not going to go that direction. We'll go here. And then we will go down to edit figures. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up, because I know all of you care about the uncommons. Wasting 400 gems. I would have been able to 10 pack if I waited a bit. Well, it depends, John. Did you get anything good? What's going on, the prince? Ouch. Luigi. That Aggron isn't going to do you much good. So I actually did a video on this. I'm not going to post it. We'll just cover everything here. This little Rockruff. Like, this looks like a pet you'd own, right? This looks like the dog next door. Yeah, you can craft an Aggron. So Rockruff is a rock type with the ability of loyalty. It's got a built-in scoop up. That's super cool. What's going on, Booms? Mario. It's me, Mario. No, see, Luigi, we don't put stuff like that up there. It's got a built-in scoop up, and if this Pokemon is evolved, it gains 1 MP, but there's no pre-form to Rockruff, so it's kind of hard to evolve this one. Man, this wheel is a little rough. It like 40 is not killing much. Yeah, we we do have Luigi and Mario, don't we? I wonder if that's Luigi in his alt account. That'd be kind of funny. So, Rockruff is going to take like an X speed, an X attack, maybe even a Desperate Times, and a little bit of luck. One thing that I like to do is you can use Poliwrath and confuse another figure, and then try to trigger the evolution off of this. And yeah, you know, if this evolved off of surrounds, it would be infinitely better, because then the built-in scoop up would be absolutely amazing. But it is what it is. You could do the rock plate and get plus 20, although I think that's kind of a waste. The sphere plate isn't really, like, 60 is not going to help you knock out much. So that is Rockruff. But it's cute. Like, it's the cutest Pokemon. It looks like your neighbor's dog. Definitely, for sure. And then we have this, like, fossil-looking fish here. I have Ouija as alt account. Instead of Luigi, it says Ouija. Is it Relicanth? It's like a camo fossil-looking fish. Water rock type. This Pokemon cannot be excluded from the duel, which is cool. But that doesn't include Ultra Space. So keep that in mind. It's got a ton of miss, though. Ton of miss. Like 8 miss. For something that hits 60 and 80, like 8 miss seems like a lot. When you look at like Solgaleo, which hits for 100 and 120, only has 8 miss. You love this banner. It nerfs the Ultra Beast decks. Well, giggity, but does it really? It's a lake fish or a mud fish? No, it's a camo fish, man. That is a camouflage fish. 44 Primal Strike for 60. If the battle opponent's Mega Evolved, has evolved, or changed its form during the duel, move that Pokemon to the bench. Couldn't they have just said evolved? I mean, being evolved includes Mega Evolutions, does it not? That's kind of my thought on that. It seems a little redundant. It's funny, the translations, sometimes they're wrong, and then sometimes they're redundant. You have Big Yawn, this Pokemon, and the battle opponent fall asleep. I don't really know that I want my figures falling asleep. You know, it has a cool ability with the or not ability, but it has a cool wheel slice there with that Primal Strike, and then Aqua Tail is going to be weight. But I think the rest of this wheel is kind of a liability because nobody's gonna attack into this with an evolved Pokemon. Maybe with one that's evolved, but not like Mega, and not with a changed. I just don't see your opponent attacking into this, so that means you're going to have to do all the attacking, and if you sleep yourself on the other side of the board, it could create a lot of problems of getting back to it and waking it up. Let's see what everybody else is saying. 2 Manaphy's. Okay, yeah, if you want to run 2 Manaphy's, Rayquaza's good now. I haven't really even looked at it. Mega Evolution of a figure, which would you have on the field, will not end. It'll decrease. Yeah, we'll get into that, Simon Roy. What buff did Rayquaza get? The gold was expanded, and then the fly and the break energy were they were shrunk. I saw a balloon today. Well, all right. Giggity, I think new figures will have players think twice. I don't even think twice about running Ultra Beast gigs. In fact, I went away from the Rush deck and started using the Ultra Beast. Yeah, Soteris, you bring up a good point. Falling asleep's a full heal, because then Coco's just going to come over and wake everything up. Yeah, we'll touch on those. Sapra? Savanish Sapra? You haven't missed anything. We've just gone over the 2 uncommons that are new. We are working our way up the totem pole, and we will jump into the rares here. I actually kind of dig the two new rares. So we have the Lycanroc Midday form. It's a rock type with loyalty. At the start of your turn, if this Pokemon is on the field, you may move to the bench, and then you can use it immediately. So it's a built-in scoop up as well. If this Pokemon has evolved, it gains plus 1 MP. At level 5, it's going to have no miss. You know, 110 and 70 is not bad. A word of caution. Don't leave this figure near your goal, because with Roar, you could actually push your opponent onto your goal, because your opponent's going to get to choose where they want to go with the Roar move. 20 wheel slice of 2-star purple. The battle opponent is knocked back 1 step, and like I said, the opponent gets to choose. 4 dodge, 36 wheel slice of Stone Edge, 4 miss, 28 Accelerock for 60, and then another 4 miss. Looks like a fairly decent figure. I like. It's a decent sized gold. 110 is, you know, for rare, it's not horrible. And you know, 3 MP, it gains 1 MP after evolution. For a 1 MP, like if you can get this thing up to the 3 MP, I think it's a really nice figure. I really do. I think it's great. As the 2 MP, I don't know. I think the jury's still kind of out on that. The jury, as they say. Then we're going to go to the Midnight form, which has the same abilities. It has a built-in scoop up, the plus 1 MP on evolution, but this one's got a significantly more miss. It has the same roar, and then it's going to end up having 8 miss at level 5, but we're going to get a 16 wheel slice of counter. We all know what that does, because we've all gone against the the Deoxys defense forms. If you have an attack of 20 or more, the opponent is knocked out. It's really small here, only 16. Stone Edge for 90, which is going to be 100. And then Stealth Hit for blue is the same move as Sceptile. If I were to say and guess, I would say that I would level up Stealth Hit. But because 3 MP with Stealth Hit, that could get you what, 5 MP off the bench. I think that's pretty cool. But if you wanted to make a counter argument and say that you should level up counter, like you could make a compelling argument for that, and I wouldn't argue with you, and I wouldn't tell you that you were wrong either. So either one of those, I definitely wouldn't level up Roar, and I wouldn't level up Stone Edge. But definitely, the 2 Lycanrocs look like they have a lot of potential. The problem that I will say is that you getting the evolution out of McGruff the Crime Dog down here is you're gonna have, in order to evolve Rockruff, you're gonna have to do something. Whether you have to bring out the Oricorio that allows you to do the evolution if you run Poliwrath, but you're going to have to do something other than just attack to get Rockruff to evolve. But once you do, I really like the 2 Lycanrocs. I think they're both good. Which one do I think is better? I don't know that there is one that's better, because they both are very unique. One has a gold attack, which I think is great, and a 70 gold attack is nice. The ability to hop over figures is really good. Counter is really good. But for that, you're gonna get 8 miss as opposed to no miss. So there you go. Like, pick and choose your battle there. Do you want no miss, which is what I like, and a gold attack, or do you want an OP blue attack with a solid white attack, but do you want the 8 miss? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you can say one is better than the other. It just depends. Not to mention he is healing. If you leveled up counter, would Stealth Hit and counter equal the same size? What? Yeah, counter and Stealth Hit. So if you did just to level 5, they would be equal. I think Midnight Form you definitely would want to take up to level 10. Definitely on that one. And then, like I said, I don't know which one you level up. 2 good options there. Let's move on to this guy right here, the Regirock. Like, can you believe that an EX has 150? Like, sea level 10, that's a 160. That's crazy. Rock type, lock on blue. All right, Luigi, thanks for stopping by, man. The Midnight Form has a different ability. Hold on. Let's step down for a second and go back and look. I was pretty sure they had the same ability. This Pokemon... Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I totally missed it. Totally missed it. Thank you for pointing that out, NB Box. It gains the 1 MP just like the other form. But this one, when you attack, then you spin. If you roll a miss, then there was no attack. I did miss that. My bad, my bad, my bad. Which is kind of cool, because if you attack, and I cannot remember, I've actually used this once. Oh, was Showtime here and I missed him? Hey, Showtime, there you are. I've used this in one game and I can't remember. I believe when you attack, then it rolls and sees if it rolls miss or not. But that's kind of cool, because you can say, whoops, just kidding, didn't really want to attack. And antagonism is kind of cool because you're antagonizing your opponent by attacking, but not really attacking. So it can actually save you there. But you're right. Sorry about that. I completely whiffed on that one. Let's jump back up here. It was a good catch by you. To the Regirock. So this lock on blue ability. Now, the way that it is specified as blue leads me to believe we're going to have other figures with the lock on ability, but like lock on purple or lock on gold. You advise against that, OG. Hold on, what's OG? Oh, you can mat. You can mat a lichen rock. Nothing wrong with that. Soteris the Noid, like the Domino's pizza. That's pretty funny. um, so what you've got here is you've got this lock-on marker, and whenever, let's see, if this Pokemon is not affected by a special condition, then instead of an MP move, it can force one opposing Pokemon within 2 steps of it to spin. If it rolls a blue, attach a lock-on marker to that opponent and your turn ends. And then you're going to follow that up with this 24 wheel slice of Multi-Blast for 90. Knocks out all the Pokemon that have lock-on markers attached to them. So you kind of see why I'm thinking that this is going to be one in a series of different figures that have that lock-on ability. And then the Multi-Blast will wipe them all off the board. Because you notice it doesn't say knock out all Pokemon that have lock-on blue markers attached to them. Does that make sense? Oh, guys, as soon as I'm done here, and I'm not going to be going super late today. We're not going to be going all day. Showtime's got a giveaway. Showtime, are you giving away $100 like a C note, like a Benny? Is that right? You're giving away a Benjamin? Let me know in the comments because I'm pretty sure everybody here wants a Benjamin. I'll take a Benjamin. If you're handing them out, I will take a Benjamin. Good morning, Earl. It is not good morning on the East Coast there, bro. Registeel, you think lock on blue or purple? Yeah, I think that's going to be a thing. I I think they should have done cracked marker though. I really think they should have done a cracked marker because then you could have created a lot of synergy between a lot of different figures. But they chose to do the lock on marker, and it's all about the Benjamins, baby. Wow. All right, everybody, not now. Like, don't leave now. But when I wrap this up, Showtime is giving away $100 for 500 subs. Like, that is not a bad deal. So we're just going to move over there when this is all done. It's going to be like, it's like, aha, push that fuss. Everybody move to the back of the bus because we going to Showtimes. So we have 16 Protect. We have 32 Hammer Arm for 150. That's 150. This Pokemon's going to gain weight, a 20 Wheel Slice of Explosion, a 2-star Purple, where this Pokemon and all neighboring Pokemon faint. I kind of see that Multi-Blast being like branded markers with the Litwick, Chandelure, and Lampent line of figures. Definitely excited about the future with Regirock. At level 5, no miss. This thing could legit sit on your goal and probably be pretty good until it got surrounded. Seems like too much trouble. It could be, but the thing is it's a good figure just on its own. Like I feel like the lock-on is an added bonus where like 16 Protect is nice, 150 is amazing, Explosion, blow up the opponent trying to get to your goal, and then the Multi-Blast, there's a lot to like there. I don't know that it's the best individual figure ever, but definitely good stuff. I feel like we missed this little thing. Shaman Landform. This thing looks like a hedgehog or a pig, right? David Lee doesn't love Regirock. I think he will have a slow start. Yeah, he could be like, going back to Regirock, he could be like some of those other figures that kind of nobody pays attention to, and then later on they're like, wait a minute, this figure's actually pretty decent. Let's move on to kind of the big one, like the highlight of the banner that most people want to see, and that's the Shaman Landform and the Shaman Skyform we'll hit on as well. When this Pokemon is not affected by a special condition and is on an entry point, Mega Evolution does not end via passage of turns for the Pokemon of that player whose entry point it is on. So do not put Shaman on your opponent's entry point. Just don't do that. Also, just so you know, your Megas, their 7-turn counter is actually going to count down until it gets to 1, even if this is on the entry point, because you're going to expire those 7 turns, but then it's going to continue to stay after that. So keep that in mind. I know a lot of people have had their megas and then the counter starts going down and they kind of freak out and like, wait a minute. That's not the case. The case is your counters will still go down. So it's not going to be whenever this leaves your entry point, and you're still going to have 7 more turns. That's not, your 7 turns are going to come off the top, and then you're going to continue with any bonus moves after that. As far as the wheel goes, a 28 wheel slice of a 28 wheel slice of synthesis. It's a 1-star purple. It is okay. It's good on like Formosa, but for an EX, I don't know. I think it maybe needed to be 2 stars, but it's going to do the same thing. Give plus 20 damage to all of your grass types. A 28 wheel slice of Seed Flare that hits for 60. If there are any poisoned and or noxious Pokemon, this damage is multiplied by the number of those Pokemon. Removes the poison and noxious conditions from all Pokemon. So it's kind of like Floor Cannon on Magearna, where it resets. You know, for Magearna, it's going to reset itself. But on this one, it's going to reset the board. So you're going to get the damage buff. If there are 3 poison figures out there, you're going to get 180 damage out of your Shaman Landform. But then all the poison is going to be removed off of the opponents, and you're going to kind of start over again. Let's see. I pulled 2 of these, 1 Regirock and 1 Midnight Lycanroc in a 10-pack. Nice, nice. Jason, I've already opened boosters, and you can watch that video as soon as I'm done streaming here, and you can see everything that I've opened. The 60 is pretty underwhelming if nothing else is damaged on the board. It's probably going to get knocked out pretty easily. And then you have a 28 wheel slice of Healing Flowers. Choose 1 Pokemon in your PC and move it to the bench. That is a really nice purple move. And the fact that it's 3 stars is, what's going on, Brian? Is really nice. You know, this is kind of one of those figures that if you're going to use, you kind of need to take it up to level 9. I would put everything into that 3-star purple. But it's a support piece. Awesome. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. It's definitely a support piece. So, you know, you can, it's got some nice utilities. But I think you kind of need to build a deck around this. At the end of the day, I think if you build a deck around this figure, I think you can make a really solid deck. I think grass types can be really nice decks right now. But I don't know that this is just a plug and play and it'll make any of your decks instantly better, if that makes sense. But I do think it's a nice cornerstone of a piece. Giggity hit 4110. The heck? That's great. Good job, Giggity. What are you running right now, Giggity? I don't even know. Are you still using your Lurantis, Altaria deck? Give Giggity a second here to chime in. If the Mega gets knocked out, devolves. Yeah, Chase, I like that. I like Lycanroc's midday. Magearna and Shaman Landform seem great together. Shaman plus Cobalion should be nice. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Anything that has a lot of purple and Cobalion is pretty nice. And let's see, just kind of reading over everybody else's comments here. Double Orantis, Bulu, Shaman Landform, Grovyle, Deceptile, and Trev. That's nice. That's nice. For Mantis and Shaman on the same grass deck? I don't know. I think you would have to take Shaman, and it would be have to you would have to build around that, and kind of go to Shaman's strengths. Like, that's what I'm kind of saying is I don't think you can just plug it into just any deck, and it'll be great. I think it needs to have a deck completely built around it in order to utilize the synergy. So you're going to want a Mega. Uh, I would throw a Delibird in there as well, quite honestly. Stay-at-home dad's probably going to be loving that. I would throw, what else? Like a Seismitoad or a Crobat or some kind of a new age tropical deck, a Toxicroak, something like that. And now we have Shaman Skyform with the ability of Thankfulness. This Pokemon can MP move over non-flying type Pokemon on the field. While this Pokemon is on the field, 1 MP or lower Pokemon on your bench and 1 MP or lower Pokemon within 2 steps of this Pokemon gain +1. When this Pokemon becomes frozen or when it is knocked out, its Pokemon changes form to land form if possible. That's not going to be like the DNA splicers, at least for now. This could be a glitch in the game. It wouldn't be the first time that it has happened. But as of right now, if you have the Sky form and it gets frozen or knocked out, it's going to go to, well, if it gets knocked out, it's going to go to the PC and then change forms. So just keep that in mind. I don't know if it's meant to be like the Kyurem, where it changes forms and stays on the board, because that's not really how it happens. But what's going on, Spitify? But my guess is the reason why it doesn't stay there is because when you do the DNA splicing, you actually take 2 figures and make 1. And then when it loses a battle, it unsplices, so you're left with 2 different figures, where the Shamans, it's not 2 different figures. It's 1 figure that changes form like the Rotoms. And that's my guess as to why it's like that. But I know a lot of people were confused about that originally. So, Evo Blaze, Evo Zora, Coco, Sableye, and Lunala. Cool. Yeah, seems like a pretty rough deck there, Giggity. 28 wheel slice of Seed Flare. If there are any poisoned or noxious, it removes the poison. So same thing as Shaman Landform. The 32 wheel slice of Quick Attack, 4 miss, and then the 28 wheel slice of Dazzling Gleam, where your opponents are going to respin. If they roll gold, they will be knocked out. The only major thing that I see wrong with the Skyform is it's not real durable. Like, if you think about the reason why Mew was such a good runner and the reason why Tapu Koko is such a great runner is because they're really hard to knock out. Like this, unless you have other poisoned figures on the board, this is kind of like paper. I mean, it hits a little bit harder than, say, your run-of-the-mill Evolution, but like I can't see putting this figure on an entry point and it staying there for very long. Just in general. The Mega Sableye can get knocked out. Shaman could be good for rush deck. It could be. But like I said, the thing that makes a rush deck so hard, if you think about it, the 3 primary rushers in a rush deck are going to be Tapu Koko, which we've already talked about is hard to knock out. Rotom, which is difficult to knock out. And Mega Gengar, which is, again, difficult to knock out. So anything you're attacking this with is probably going to hit for harder than 79, unless you're hitting with another runner. But even Tapu Koko kind of, Koko might struggle with this a little bit, because the 60 is going to lose to about 75% of the wheel, 65% of this wheel. So Tapu Koko might have a hard time attacking into it, but you can't really attack into Koko either, because most Kokos are over 70 or 71 now anyways because of the lack of Mew, which means that your 40 loses to everything except for the 30, and your 70 might lose to everything as well. So keep that in mind. I think it's a good figure. Another thing to be careful of is if you're going to run the Shaman Skyform like I am, in an Ultra Beast deck, if this ever loads up, and you are running Celesteela, your Celesteela is nice because it's 2 MP, but you're going to lose that plus 30 buff on the Gyro Ball attack because typically it's going to be the same number of MPs as the opponent you're going against. So keep that in mind. It I lost twice with that figure, and I'm like, why didn't I get my buff? And then I was like, oh yeah, because I'm 2 MP. David Lee says he has the same problem Cartana has. You wish he had more blue, yeah. And Cartana, yeah, same type of deal. In order for Cartana to really hit hard, it needs other figures in Ultra Space. In order for Shaman Skyform to really hit hard, it needs to have figures poisoned on the board, which kind of synergizes really well with an Ultra Beast deck if you're running multiple Nihiligos. You can set up one Nihiligo to do callback and one Nihiligo for poison, and potentially build up some damage there. I run Shaman with Mega Sableye and Spirit Tomb. Or, yeah, a Spirit Tomb. Ugh. That figure. Today in a match, Skyform knocked out my Mega Aggron by rolling gold into my purple. I mean, you do have options. Like, it's not a trash figure by any stretch. How can Mega Sableye get knocked out if Shaman is on your entry point? Zoro knocked it out today with Cross Counter. Because does Cross Counter not move your figure to the bench? I would have to reread the description of Zoroark real quick. I'm sure I have one set somewhere in here. The opponent is knocked out instead of this Pokemon. So it does say knockout. What does... Let's go look to see what Mega Sableye... Let's see. What does... I should have stayed in my deck there. Let's see what the Mega Sableye description... It says it can't be KO'd by a white attack, correct? Like, why is this lagging so bad? Edit figures. We'll take Vibrava out. We will put in Sableye. All this. Okay. This Pokemon is not knocked out by battle damage. So that's why, who asked that? Zeus. So that's why you got knocked out, is because it wasn't the damage that knocked you out. It was the ability of that move. Does that make sense? I mean, it makes sense to me. I just want to make sure that it makes sense to you. Tapu Koko, Tapu Nono. This is an anti-fairy blue. It's a bug. So Phoenix Star says it's a bug. I don't think so. Because it's not the damage that knocks him out. It's the ability of the damage. I don't know. We can have differing opinions. And it very well could be a bug. It wouldn't be the first time. iOS, all the way. Christopher. But it kind of makes sense to me. This Pokemon is not affected by effects of battle opponent that would apply markers to this opponent that would inflict any special conditions and any such. So it makes sense. Ooh, Blaziken or Lunala? Most people are going to say Lunala. I think Blaziken's 3-star purple is really good, though. Oh, by the way, Iceman asked it. Okay. Sorry, Iceman. Sorry. I got you guys mixed up. Yeah, it's a battle effect. If Soteris agrees with me, that's what we're going to go with. We're going to stick with that. So let me drop my Vibrava back in here before I move on, because I will throw this deck into a match and not have the right figures out. We also got a couple of new plates. We'll just take this Mighty Sphere. We got Stony Sphere. Choose one of your Rock-type Pokemon until the end of the duel. That Pokemon is on the field. Opposing Flying-type Pokemon and Fairy-type Pokemon cannot pass through your Rock-type Pokemons by the effects of abilities. Thank you. Like, we need more figures that do that. That's a good plate. if you're going to be running a stone or a rock figure, I would absolutely be running Stony Sphere. Well, do you think the gratitude tickets have higher rate of pulling figs? No, I think the gratitude tickets are single booster tickets minus the 50 materials. That's all I think. Ruho art. I think Delibird. I I think someone a lot smarter than me could come up with a Delibird and Shaman deck that would be really good. And it's someone smarter than me. Welcome to this. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, K-Dub. By the way, I don't know if Showtime is still here or not, but he is. As soon as I'm done here, he is going to be giving away $100 cash money records. So when I end things here, everybody, all 82 of us, are going to jump over to Showtime stream and try to get our hands on a Benjamin. Just want to plug that. We also have this hard stone plate, which honestly I've not even looked at. Choose one of your rock type Pokemon on the field. While it's on the field, you're going to gain plus 20 damage. So it's the same as Miracle Seed and Sharp Beak and Magnet. Kind of interesting. What do you guys think about these red plates that do the additional damage? Very similar to the Overdrive plates, but the Overdrive plates have been out for almost a year now, and we're just now starting to get these other plates that are way more specific. Would you guys like that? Not like that? I hit the 3 ground space. Bishop. Where did I hit 3 grand? Oh, on my subs? Thank you. I appreciate it. I've gotten to 3K before, but RNG has been treating me bad. Yeah. John, what you'll find is there are decks that can get you to a certain point, and then once you get there, they can't take you any further. And so you're going to have to... The best way I can equate it is if I go into my decks here, and let's see, where... Not that one, and not that one. So this deck right here, before today, I haven't used it today, but this deck right here is really, really good at high levels. So 37, 38, 3900s, the type of decks that you will see, this deck fares amazing against those. When you drop down into like the 3200s, the 3300s and under, this deck gets slaughtered left and right because it doesn't match up well with the other decks that people run. So as you progress through the game, you are going to hit a certain level to where a deck that you have built was really good for the meta that you were facing. But as you progress, there's a shift. And it's not just like a bam, here it is. All of a sudden I'm playing totally different decks. It's a gradual shift as you climb where decks become less effective. And so that's totally natural that whatever you're using will get you up to 3K. But then once you get there and then you start facing decks that are like 33, 34, or 3500, it's not as successful and you start falling down a little bit. So just know that once you start climbing up and a deck starts not being effective, or alternatively, if you're falling down the charts and then you start losing a lot on top of that, it may be because the deck that you're running is built to counter decks that you aren't facing anymore. No, Giggity, you are the counterattack person, and I'm not even going to pretend to run counterattack. Rush likes the red plus 20 plates. John and Bishop, okay, you guys are having your own. Hey, H2O Queen, we need to schedule our tournament game. I'm looking forward to it. I have no idea what deck I'm going to run. But we'll get that scheduled as soon as we're done here. We can chit chat. Hello to Cameron. Whoa, what just happened? With Landform, you can make use of Mega Altaria passive to force a knockdown so you get excluded Pokemon. Using Coco or Feeny blues would actually be beneficial. What do you think, guys? Yeah, I think Mega Altaria would be pretty nice with land form. List of Pokemons that don't have on the deck that you showed me. I'm sorry, John. My bad. Uh, Congratulations, H2O, on 100 subs. Are you going to give away $100 like Showtime is? You give away, you're down under, right? So you can give away 100 Australian dollars. um, and that's kind of it. Did I miss? Oh, you know what? I didn't talk about the megas. So let's go look at these megas, the new megas. I don't have either of the two new megas. I'm kind of sad about that because I actually think they could be pretty decent here. The Mega Aggron, this Pokemon can MP move under other Pokemon. Now here's a question that I have for you guys. Why does it matter if it moves under or over Pokemon? It cracks me up that there are other figures like Dig. It'll say it moves under, and I'm like, okay, well, it says that because it's Dig, but this one doesn't say. It doesn't have Dig, but it can move under. So it can move opposing Fairy type Pokemon on the field that move within 2 steps of this Pokemon. Move to the PC after the end of that turn. That is so funny because you know Coco is 3 MP, and anywhere you put Mega Aggron, like Coco's gonna have to think twice about moving that figure because if it comes next to the figure to Aggron, it's gonna have to attack. If it comes within 2 of Mega Aggron, it's PC time, so that's kind of funny. Probably not, David Lee. $5,000 is a lot of money to give away. Maybe if I reach 1,000,000 subs, then we can talk about $5,000 giveaways. 4 miss, 24 heavy slam for 110, which is actually going to be 120, which is then actually going to be 140. Battle opponents 3 MP or higher. That Pokemon takes no damage. Oh, I heard a jingle jangle, but I don't know. I can't tell what that says. Is that Soteris? Thank you, Soteris. I believe. I think. Hold on. I think I can look at my chat. Yes, thank you, Soteris. I appreciate it, sir. That'll go towards the $5,000 giveaway. A 16 Protect, 16 Brutal Swing, which is a 3-star purple. I actually like that move. I think it's great. Same thing that Guzzlord has. And then Bedrock Breaker temporarily excludes the battle opponent from the duel if it is a rock or fairy type Pokemon. That Pokemon returns to the bench after 7 turns. That's pretty interesting that they limited it. If you look at Mega Charizard X, it's not limited to what it can temporarily banish, but this one is. Pretty interesting. And then we have the final Mega Tyranitar. If the battle opponent spends a blue attack, that Pokemon on the field moves to the bench after the turn ends and gains weight. 16 crunch, no miss at level 5. That, to me, no miss on a Mega is huge. Because the thing is, with a Mega, you have 7 turns to attack. I don't want to worry about missing, which is one reason why no one uses Mega Salamence, because it has huge miss. If it had no miss, then I think more people would run it. Also, people don't run it because they don't want to run Salamence, but you could build a deck with Swablu and Altaria and make Salamence very viable. Rock Storm moves all fire type and flying type Pokemon that are adjacent to this Pokemon to the bench. Mega Tyranitar just seems like a bulldozer. If it rolls blue, it's going to the bench. If it's a fire or flying type that are adjacent to this, it goes to the bench. Like, I could see Mega Tyranitar just steamrolling some decks. I really can. And then you have Mountain Topple. All other Pokemon on the field spin. Those that spin a blue attack are knocked out. Tell me you guys can't see the day. I can't see what H2O Queen. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But I'm H2O Queen. I'm not going to let you win though. I do apologize, but making a donation. I very much appreciate it, but I'm not going to let you win in my tournament just because you made a donation. But I do appreciate the support. Um, I can see where Mega Tyranitar would just bulldoze its way down the field, especially against me. The 60 is pretty weak. This would be one that I would seriously consider taking to level 10 just to make that 16 crunch down to 11. But I think this could single-handedly win a game for you. I think it's one of those figures that can knock things out that are close to you, respin everybody on the board, and knock out other figures, all on its way to walking to your opponent's goal. All right, let me catch up. Let me catch up on the chats here. Hey, thank you for the donations. It's I can't remember. It's Haley Selassie, and that was a like a huge philosopher, if I'm not mistaken, who had some really great quotes, if I'm not mistaken. So I know I looked him up last time because you have donated before, and I do appreciate it. Really good. I need to Google him again because he had some really awesome quotes in there. But I appreciate the support there. Pokemon's Blue still use their effect against Mega Tyranitar. That's how. Yeah, and Mega Date is right. If you have the Mega Tyranitar, you're going to need to attack other figures. But I think that's okay because most people don't want to attack the Ultra Beasts anyways because you can't beat the blue. All you can do is tie the blue. So you want to be selective as to when you evolve and what you attack. But there are definitely figures out there that you can attack and be successful and passively take out the Ultra Beast because everybody levels up the blues on the Ultra Beast. Thank you, K-Dub. I absolutely appreciate it. And K-Dub posted a video. He played his, a spoiler alert here, he played his final game in the Content Creators Tournament. And go watch his video because game 3, game 1 it was exciting, game 2 was super exciting, and game 2 did not go K-Dub's way. And you can tell at game 3 that he is feeling what every single one of you watching this video right now or who have played this game have felt. Where you just go into it going, I'm not going to win any rolls, so I'm just going to kind of take this chance, and if I lose, I'm going to be put out of my misery, and if I win, maybe I win the game. And he does that, and since I already gave you the spoiler, it didn't work out for him. But I empathized greatly with K-Dub because I've been there, where I just look at the screen, and I'm like, my entire wheel is blue, and what it's going to do is the effect of this blue wheel knocks out every opponent within 8 steps of my figure, and I know I'm going to lose this roll somehow. And I felt so bad because that you could just tell that was the mentality that K-Dub had, because he made a play that I think if he wasn't tilting, and he had prefaced this by saying he had just a full day or a full couple days of he couldn't get anything to go his way, and you could just tell that was his thought process. I'm sure every one of you have gone through that same thing. So go check it out because game 1 and game 2 were absolutely amazing, and then you can just see what I'm talking about in game 3 when you check out his video. What team am I? I'm team auto select. I don't know why. Why is Eevee an option? Like, why wasn't Sylveon? I don't know. Let me catch up on these. Run Mega Charizard X to banish everybody. Yeah, Mega Charizard X is nice. Does anyone have Farsi 5 on Xbox One? Flash X, I'm not going to ban you, but I don't know what that is. I don't have an Xbox One. Yeah, Chester says that Mega T-Tar can super carry. Well, no one can win against you. It's one of the rules. Yes, Zeus, I did put in the rules that you must lose if you face fodder. So far, everybody has followed the rules, but I don't think Queen has even lost a game yet. So I definitely have my work cut out for me there. Round decks. Round decks are amazingly strong. You are very susceptible to purple attacks. But if you go up against a deck that doesn't have a lot of purple attacks, you're most likely going to steamroll over them. to tell you. The king of Ethiopia. Okay. He was the king of Ethiopia. I choose auto select because I don't care about the team. I don't care either Phoenix Star. I'll get the top rewards, and if I get the 50 extra Carbonite, that's great. And if not, then that's great as well. Someone talking about Mega Blastoise, and I miss it. Mega Blastoise is a perfect counter. Yeah, Mega Blastoise blue. I know everybody says Celesteela's blue is the best blue in the game. I said it from the day that it came out. I still believe it, that Mega Blastoise's blue is the best blue in the game because you can take out a figure from anywhere on the board. It creates a ton of win conditions. Mysterion took Team Umbreon, auto select. It doesn't show your team yet tomorrow. Everyone who auto selects, I think, is going to be Eevee because I don't think anybody's just going to straight up pick Eevee. People who have round moves are good for the next cup. Team Eevee, do you think the game is more skill-based or RNG? Ed Frick, it's... Yeah, that's like the $1 million question. It's... I would like to say that it's all RNG, but that's not true. Because if you look at the leaderboards, the top, the top 20 are probably pretty much always the same people. And if it was all RNG, that wouldn't be the case. I think there is a lot of RNG, but the skill is going to mitigate how exposed you are to RNG. Now, I will put an asterisk next to that and say that if the game wants you to lose, you are going to lose. Like I used in my example before of if you have an all blue wheel that can't lose anything, RNG will find a way to make you lose if you're meant to lose that game. But for the most part, I think skill and board placement can mitigate a lot of the RNG so that losing one roll or two rolls doesn't cost you the game. I hope that answers that question. I play Rush with no Mega Gengar. Are there new Shaymins needed? No, you don't need them. Yeah, I don't think you need, honestly, none of the new figures, I don't think you need any of them. I think they're really nice support pieces that can help complete good decks and maybe a deck that is close to being super top tier. I think the new figures can get them over that hump, but I think you can survive without any of the new figures. Let's see. RNG entirely. Some people are going to disagree with me. I don't know what cup is next. I should choose random. I agree with both comments, but sometimes I feel like RNG screws you over so much. Yeah, sometimes, Ed Frank, sometimes you're going to get absolutely steamrolled, and I think everybody does. No matter what your matchup is, there was a feature today where someone had Mega Gengar that was at level 4, so it only has one slice of miss, and it rolled miss into the goalie, and they ended up losing the game because of it. So, I mean, there is a certain amount of RNG to this, obviously. Just change your dates and you can see. I want to team. Knight has 7,000 materials and waiting. Oh, man. I don't know that there's anything worth crafting. Depends on what else you have in your deck, but I don't know that any of the new figures are must crafts. This is a Pokemon Coliseum reference. Eevee was a starter for Pokemon, and Espeon and Umbreon were starters for Coliseum. There you go. Date with dropping the knowledge as to why we have what we have. This is with Mega Pre-Evolutions. They have issues sustaining themselves, primarily, particularly Blastoise and Gengar, to its 100 damage. Do you have any ideas how to make these figures work after the Evo? That's the $1 million question, H2O. Is how do you get some of these lackluster figures to work outside of the Megas? Everybody hates on Tyranitar. Tyranitar is not that bad. I've run some room matches and stuff with other players who I consider really good. And the trick is you have to find a way to get the evolution from Pupitar into Tyranitar. I think Mega Tyranitar could be an absolute bulldozer on the field, but I don't think Tyranitar is terrible. I really don't. At 2 MP with the buff of the 90, that becomes 100, and then it's like 120 something. I think it's good. The problem you're going to run into is earthquake, and if you're willing, if you have the risk tolerance to handle earthquake going off and taking out your goalie with the 3 MP opponent close by, then I think you could do a lot worse. Like I said yesterday in my dark deck, I think dark deck is a really well-rounded deck. I think a lot of decks are really well-rounded, but I think dark is really, it's got a straight up purple attacker, a couple gold attackers. It's got blockage from the Yveltal. It's got some plates with it that you can do some interesting things. So I think Tyranitar in the right deck can be sustainable. Poison decks, I know. Cloud9, I agree with you, and I'm sad to see it. I Poison decks are so hard to play against. And to me, they're like ice decks. It's not that they're overly strong, they're just very difficult to play around. And the game becomes a lot more movement based as opposed to attack based. Rock Grass is what people think is probably next. I know I can say about the new figures, maybe test them out in room matches. That would be a nice feature to have if you could quote unquote rent figures to see if you like a deck build. That would be kind of cool. The best new decks possible with these figures. No, K-Dub, I have not talked about the best new decks because I don't know. I've been looking at the feature duels, and there are some really well thought out decks. I am not the expert deck craftsman. I will leave that up to much smarter people. My friend suggested the game should be rock paper scissors type up for battles. Yeah, no, I think that's too simplistic, and it kind of is rock paper scissors if you think about it. Like gold beats purple, purple beats white, higher white, blue beats all type things. Green shiny Espeon is yeah, green shiny Espeon is pretty ugly. I think they'll skip this banner for the gym, and booster 10 pack will come out mid-month. I think mid-month is about right, Iceman. I don't know if they're going to skip the gym. I think that's kind of been a staple. I'm trying to remember if we've ever gone a month without a gym. Whoa. Should craft things like Ultra Beast. I will tell you, Cameron, I'm not good at telling people how to spend their hard-earned material. If I were free to play and I had enough material, if I had 7,000 material, no, 9,000 material to craft, I would craft Ampharos and Mega Ampharos and never regret it. It is that good of a figure and can work in any deck. That being said, I don't like telling people how to spend their materials, but that's what I would do. What Mons would be as prize for the Queen Cup? I don't. Another form of Rotom? Don't we have like a microwave oven and a dishwasher or washing machine or something still to come out? I could see that happening. Yeah, earthquake. You have to be able to stomach the earthquake knocking out your own. You have to have that risk aversion. You have to be able to live and die by the sword there. Tyranitar is good. Blastoise and Gengar is a bit tricky. Yeah. Auto sorted into Eevee for Soteris. My Mega Sableye got knocked out by Grass Knot. No, I don't think it is because Grass Knot, it's an attack ability. You can scroll up in the comments, I think, and I kind of went over that. It's the attack didn't knock you out. It was the ability of the attack that knocked you out. And we looked at the Mega Sableye description, and it seems to fit that Grass Knot should be able to, and Cross Counter should be able to send it to the PC. So I think everything is on the up and up with that. I was shocked a UB did not come out as much. Yeah, I was surprised as well, but not yes, but no, because they already had 3 other UX. So it doesn't really surprise me. I can't say I'm doing 4. Poison. Yeah, Poison's rough. Poison's a good counter for Ultra Beast. If you guys are still looking, Poison's a good counter for the Ultra Beast because you can make Celesteela. If they don't run Metal Sphere, you can make Celesteela 0 MP, and it's tough to work around. Mega Aggron with Shaman looks Land looks insane, yeah, for sure. Mega Infernape? What? Yes, rush decks are alive and well. Whoa. My main deck, Tapu Koko, Tapu Bulu, Blaziken, Rare Pikachu. You get at the start, which evolves into a Lowland Raichu landform. Ed, that sounds like a pretty solid deck, man. I really appreciate your answers. Only been playing for a month or so, free to play, just trying to go. Yeah, Cameron. If you want to win today, it's very much pay to win. Soteris, I believe, just started a new account in the last 6 weeks, and I want to say he's free to play on his account because he's engaged, and I think the future wifey put the kibosh on his spending, and he's been successful. So you can definitely do it. If you don't mind spending money, you can get there a lot faster. You will learn the game more by not spending money. And I will say this, I have spent money on this game, and I will tell you that in a woe is me type of thing, it's almost a burden to spend money on the game, because thanks for the subscribe. Appreciate it. Because then you start getting into having too many different decks that you can run. And then you always think the grass is going to be greener on the other side, where if you're free to play and you have your one main deck, you know that deck, you know every matchup that deck comes up against, and you don't question, should I be running something else? And I think you can actually become a better player by running one deck. Soteris is free to play. David Lee thinks Mega Ampharos is overrated. See? It's 2:20 in Mysterian's time zone, and he's not tired. 3:51 a.m. Man, Zeus, go to bed. But I appreciate you being on the stream. Thank you for the sub. I can't read the name. I apologize. I can't read it on my screen there, but I appreciate the sub. It's been an hour that I've been talking, and you guys are probably done hearing me talk, and you guys probably want $100, right? So do me a favor. I appreciate all of the support, all of the subs. I absolutely appreciate it. Thank you. I hope that this brief little new banner go over is helpful. But it's time for Showtime to give out some money. The guy is an ATM machine. I think you guys need to go over to his stream and go after his $100. So I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to somehow let Showtime know that I am done. Showtime, are you even here? And if not, there's 77 people watching. How about if all 77 of you bum rush over to Showtime's stream? In fact, what I will do is, if you give me a second, I will grab Showtime's link, because I know everybody wants $100, right? You're crazy if you don't want $100. And if he's going to give away $100, I want one of you guys to win the $100. So we will do this. I'm just grabbing his link for his channel. Oh, and he's live. So he has already started. I'm going to put the link in the description below. So that is there. All right. Showtime. I'm stepping down. The link is in the description below. Click on the link, go over to Showtime's channel, win yourself $100. And until next time, guys.